Hey friends, Doc South with you. And well, I had a listener Paul, who I think must have listened to my shows on WNTI back in the day, and I'm assuming my internet shows as well, um, which I now no longer do. But they got to be too expensive. Yeah, it's awfully hard to afford a station, and you just don't have enough. The internet, sometimes it's hard to get buckets of listeners. And so you really can't sell ads. It wouldn't be fair or right. And so I had to pretty much shut down the station. But still, Paul was, I could count on Paul. He'd be listening quite a bit. Him and, a few others. But not legions of fans, not for sure. And I love doing the show. If I was entertaining one person, I was happy with that. But more would have been, I might have been able to sell ads. That would have helped. Because it was about $300 a month to operate the internet station. It was pretty expensive. But anyway, that's all water over the dam. Paul wanted to know how I got the name Doc South. He he remembers somewhat how, but he thought I should tell the story for you, for those who might not know. Well, okay. I got that name when I started with WNTI out of Hackettstown, Centenary College radio. I had just moved back up north from living in Wilson, North Carolina for about 3 years. And I loved the Carolinas. God knows it was a great place to be, but kind of missed my kids up north, and it was kind of tough. So I came back, and WNTI took me in. I was, I think, the first of the non-student. I'm pretty sure I was the first of the non-student DJs there. For the longest time, it was pretty much just for the how should I put it? Just for the the students, the college students there, and it certainly was a powerful station. Gosh, it got out like crazy. I think about 50 miles in any direction from Hackettstown, it seemed to me. But so I was going to use my regular name, but people, when you get into radio, people always say it's not so smart to use your regular name. Because, excuse me, what can happen while you're doing a really great show? Someone's at your house robbing it, that kind of thing. At least that's what I've been told. I've never had much trouble with anything like that, but yeah, but that's what people said. But so I got to thinking, gosh, what kind of name can I use? And when I was down south, I realized that a lot of rock and rolls is, especially the oldies, a lot of it is very alive and well. At least back then in the '80s, the early '80s, it was they loved their oldies, and they especially loved something called beach music, which is a form of oldie. I mean, there's some new beach music songs, but most of them are oldies that you could dance something called the shag to. So I got the feeling, and I still tend to hold to it, with some exceptions. I think rock and roll pretty much got its start in the South. It's just their kind of music, and it started pretty early down there. And so I said, okay, rock and roll started in the South. Now, when I lived in the South, I did belong to the Wilson Rescue Squad. I eventually made sergeant there, and I loved the rescue work. And it was great to go out and help people who were sick or injured and all that. And a lot of them, not all, but a lot of folks that you go out on rescue calls to, there might not have been a call if they were happier. I think a lot of times being sad gives you some heart trouble, might give you some brain trouble, might get you into a fight. you might be commiserating about your awful situation you find yourself in, or you got a bout of sadness happening. Next thing you know, you hit a truck. Yeah, it's and that music, especially early rock and roll, has a way of cheering you up. And so I said, in a way, a DJ is kind of like a doctor. He does make you feel better, a good DJ. And, so I basically, there you go, doc, to cheer people up, south from where I feel rock and roll kind of got cooking. Basically, that's it. And for some reason, I was uneasy with the name for a while. I don't know if this rolls off the lips quite well, but yeah, people kind of, they kind of got used to it, and there you are, Doc South. Again, started in the Carolinas, and I played music that I think pretty much I got my start in the South, and so did rock and roll. That might be the best way to put it. Okay. So, Paul, I hope that answers your question for you and others. And there you are. Now I use it as a pen name for my stories, the books I write, and also for these videos I do. It's again the deal is I really enjoy trying to cheer people up. I think if people are happier, there's less drugs, less driving like a nut, less fist fights at the bar, less fist fights in the street. I think people are less heart attacks, less strokes. Happy people do happy things. So that's what I try to do. I try to be a cure for a heavy heart, for sadness, and not feeling just right about things. If that's the best way I can put it. Okay, there you go, friends. I hope that helps. Thanks, Paul. That actually gave me an idea. I was kind of struggling for an idea for a video. In fact, these videos I do, on YouTube, you just go to YouTube and search Doc South Show. There's about 1,200 videos now, at least that many. In fact, it's more than 1,200. It's closing in on 1,300. And they're all designed, every last one of them, designed to make you feel a little better about the life we're in, the existence we share. Okay, so there you go. I'll see you later. Thank you. And Paul, good. Yeah, you can always send questions, DocSouthShow@yahoo.com for my email. Okay, bye now.